and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is June 20th, 2019. Hola y bienvenido a otra discusión de 5K tenis. Hoy es el 20 de junio de 2019.
And that would be show number 93, which is 93. Let's go! Come on! So hopefully everyone is having a positive day. Carla and I are in between tennis lessons currently, and we decided to go ahead and do a show. So hopefully it's not too rushed. But there's a lot of tennis going on, a lot of rain, and the areas in which current grass court tournaments are being played. We had a little bit of rain here ourselves, so we found it to be a perfect time to go ahead and do show number 93. So hopefully everybody's ready. Let's go! Can't wait to do this one. You ready, Carla?
Yes, I am.
All of you ready? All right, let's get down. Let's get into it. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You can catch up with us as well on Facebook at Justin space Carla with the C space Davis or at 5K Tennis. On Instagram at 5K Tennis. On Twitter at
5K Tennis 1.
Or email at
5K Tennis at mail.com.
So check it out, and also those links are all available for you to click on. If you expand the description field below this video, you can click on the links there and get right to them. Over the past couple of days, Carla and I have had some really good conversations, not in the comment field below, but on different platforms, text messages, etc. So all that information is there if you choose not to want to communicate right here. All right? Real quickly, as kind of a retro shout out once again to Yuri Raz that reminded us to remember where we came from and to always look out for those that are either new to the channel or to keep your, in other words, don't forget about your viewers. He went back, we mentioned this last show, and watched some of our initial shows where we would spend a lot of time at the beginning of every show welcoming and so forth. And I think we did get away from that a little bit. So we're going to make sure we get back into that. So again, much love to Yuri Raj for giving us a sense of correction with that. I have two quick shout outs. One is to BDog02. BDog02, much love, bro. One of the OG viewers here, been around since nearly day one. Last night, BDog02 and I spent probably a couple hours, would you say, Carla?
I don't know. My gravy got kind of messed up.
Yeah, burnt my gravy. I ended up communicating with BDog02 until quite late. He had to go pick his son up at some point in time, but we really had a great conversation. So I felt one with BDog02 as I always have, but that was a really good conversation last night that we had. So much love, BDog02. Love the convo last night. As well, a big shout out to Sister to Queen, who is a fellow Californian. That left us a really good comment yesterday and reminded me that our mothers are highly important. Much love to moms everywhere. I know Carla's a mother of 5 kids and deals with me and a dog and a cat, so she does a pretty good job. But Sister to Queen always has a good way of sharing her thoughts, especially when her mom is involved and when they travel to various tennis tournaments globally. And I think
That's awesome.
I think Carla has some pictures from Sister to Queen as well. So bravo to Sister.
I'll show the pictures in a bit. And I have 3 people that are new viewers.
Go ahead.
Finch family, I'm guessing you are a big Djokovic fan. You said we went back and forth a few times about Djokovic being the GOAT and that he's won many Masters. And
we've had that discussion.
Times. So a professional discussion.
Good.
Also, Margarita Martinez from Chicago. She's a recent subscriber. I'm guessing by the name of She. And a hitchhiker is the other name, which I thought was a pretty cool name.
Cool, yeah. With the Djokovic conversation about the greatest of all time. Much love, welcome, Finch family. It's always nice to have new families involved and the fun and family-friendly sport that we have is tennis. But we have debated this topic for a year or better. It's probably spent hours on end on this show talking about it. So check out some of our titles, previous videos, and you'll know our take on that. Moving forward, though, Rahesh and a few others last year had us retire that topic because it was beaten down so badly.
Yes, it was.
So this is no push or shove to the Finch family, but again, being new to the channel, they don't know. but we have had this discussion officially retired by viewers because they got so sick of it. And we've talked about the Masters.
Can't blame them.
Yeah, we've talked about the Masters. We've talked about the consistency of winning majors and so forth. But everyone has agreed that unless you pass 20 majors, you're not the GOAT. And I think that was retired by, I don't know, 300 or 400.
Many
300 or 400.
Even Djokovic fans.
Yeah, even Djokovic fans agreed. So check out the old shows and you'll catch right up to where we are all at.
Should I show the pictures?
Yeah, go ahead. Sister to Queen picture. Let's go. All right, so these are pictures that Sister to Queen sent to us as she was traveling with her mother.
That's Monfils right there.
Yeah, Monfils, personal favorite, at least from an athletic standpoint.
One of the courts there.
Nice.
That's a beautiful, the Suzanne Langland Arena.
Great tennis player.
Stadium, I mean. The crowd. And I think I have one more, but it's our internet's pretty bad, so it's taking forever to load.
That's all right. The importance of this is that, hey, Sister to Queen was in Paris and thought about us enough here and all of us here to send us some very nice pictures, and we appreciated them a lot. We do live on a barrier island in southern Alabama called Dauphin, spelled D-A-U-P-H-I-N-P as in Papa, H as in Hotel, Dauphin. So it's kind of French in a sense. And our internet connection here is highly skeptical on the best day. Hence why we don't do this live, because it will never work. It just shows up like pixels. It doesn't work. So that's why we record and don't do it live. And I've been asked that a lot as well.
Oh, here's one more.
Oh, there you go. But again, that's why we don't do it live.
And there's Roger Federer. I guess here she's watching Nadal play. And that's Goffin and Nadal. That's it.
There you go. Much love as always, Sister to Queen. Take care of moms. B-Dog, appreciate the multi-hour sports conversation last night. Welcome, Finch family. There was someone in Chicago that you missed.
Margarita Martinez.
And much love to Yuri Raz for reminding us to make sure we get that done. Let's go, Yuri. Come on. Let's go. All right, let's start this show off with a brief topic today. And this topic will be, I think, a fun one in a sense, but in all due respect, I think it will be serious as well. I'm going somewhere with this one, so here we go. Personally, myself, I'm an absolutely huge Roger Federer fan. If anybody doubts that, I followed Federer since I was, I don't know, let's see, I'm 41, so maybe late 20s or something. Insofar as, maybe I regret it now, but I have a Roger Federer tattoo on my back. So if anyone wants to doubt that, you can tell by the way it looks, it's old. So, I can, maybe if I lose a bet, I'll whip out the Roger Federer tattoo, but it's there and it's old. But I've been following Federer for a very long time, since the end of his junior tennis days, where he was actually on clay a lot. People might not even know that, but anyway, agree or disagree. Topic number one, agree or disagree. Currently, I am stating that Roger Federer is looking a bit rough on all fronts. Agree or disagree? Does he look a bit rough on all fronts?
I think that his wife's not around maybe in this tournament, so he hasn't shaved, and the color is kind of a drab. It's like, it just brings it makes him look old, I think.
What, the color? The color of what?
His outfit. It's like, it's not, you're on grass now. Let's switch the outfit.
Carla and I have discussed this, not on this show, but this will be the first time on the show. We've discussed this for a little while now, especially when he gets the scruffy beard going. Number one, here's some notes I wrote down today and we watched every bit of the Tsonga-Federer match, okay? Number one, he looks dirty. He looks dirty. He's on a beautiful green grass court. He's wearing a drab gray outfit.
Is it gray? It looked
like puke green. I mean, not puke green, but like puke gray. I mean, it's not even gray. It's not even white. It's like
a brown mixture with some, I don't know.
It's just an odd color. I don't even know if it is a color. It just looks drab, dank. It looks like a cloudy, rainy day at Wimbledon, but thrown on your shirt. It just isn't a good look for me. I think Uniqlo could have done a much better job with the outfits. Maybe Roger should think about an old saying: we look as good as we feel, and we are as good as we look. I think hygiene and everything else is important in order to make yourself even feel and perform better The beard, I give a 0 on a scale of 1 to 10, so I'm going -1 in a sense. The outfit from Uniqlo, preposterous. I don't know what that is.
He wore it at the French Open. I've seen the Wimbledon one. It's all white. It just looks like a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. Yeah. Nothing special about it.
No, it looks like someone threw up on the shirt and it dried up and the green went away and it turned gray.
I'm talking about the new outfit.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, that's not the new outfit for Wimbledon. You're not allowed to wear that.
Well, I've already seen the new Wimbledon outfit, solid white. But I'm just saying
pretty boring.
How he looked today and how his game was ridiculously off, by the way. But playing Tsonga today mixed with the beard, mixed with the awful attire, awful color. It was already raining there, at least it had been. At least it was it was kind of a cloudy day in a sense. But his outfit just kind of nailed the coffin. Literally, he looked like a zombie out there. I thought he was mummified and came out. I mean, his shots were off. He was just hacking balls away, forehand slicing it. It was just a really bad look for me today watching Federer. He looked not only 37, he looked 97 in my opinion.
Yeah, it was
he looked old.
It was a game that put you to sleep. I think I took vitamins after that match. Just because I felt like I was going to fall asleep on.
Yeah, okay, so here's the notes I had kind of flowed down. Looks dirty, looks scrappy and old, older than 37, no offense. I'm 41, but I felt like I looked younger than him today. I'm just saying, the outfit made him look absolutely dreadful. Uniqlo failed that test. Made me want to puke just looking at it. Mixed with his beard and looking out of shape, he looked like a pure disaster. Playing Tsonga, he looked like a mummy mixed with a zombie. He looked slow. He looked sluggish. He was challenging absolutely ridiculous and preposterous calls. In other words, his balls were 3 feet out, and he's challenging like almost he needed to catch a breath or something. His non-playing arm, his left arm, he's a righty, looked incredibly skinny. It always has, but it looked toothpick type skinny. I don't look at rear ends of gentlemen. No offense with that. I don't have any problem with that. All I'm saying is that I couldn't help but to look at Roger Federer's rear end in these Uniqlo shorts because they look like the soggy bottom boys. Gotta work on that butt, bruh, because that thing looked droopy. Sorry, but butt was saggy. Challenging ridiculous calls, sluggish, slow. Maybe the worst I've ever seen Roger Federer play since he walked onto the scene as a young pro. What do you think?
You're harsh.
I'm a big fan.
You're very harsh.
Look, I'm a big fan, and look, 37, you can still play. But right now, he looks like he just woke up out of the dumpster. Just saying. Right?
I think we all had those bad days, though.
Shoot. Looked like he had a bad week, and the wife like to say, get out and sleep in the doghouse is what it looked like. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
Looked rough. And the last thing I wrote, and we're going to move forward, is that anyone on the planet on tour currently, if Federer is playing the way he played today against Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, anyone can beat Roger. And here I am with a bet with Peter Dijkstra in Sweden that Roger Federer will win Wimbledon, or I have to make a fool of myself once again, and Federer looks like this. Yeah, I'm a little hesitant, or a little reluctant to proceed with any further bets that include Federer.
What does that say about Tsonga, though?
Well, I think Tsonga played great.
What does that say about Tsonga if he couldn't beat a Federer that looks sluggish?
You know what? If Tsonga and Federer would have replayed that match at Wimbledon 3 out of 5, looking at how Federer played today, I think I would give the edge to Tsonga on that one. Tsonga played better.
Tsonga has beat him.
There was a whole lot of luck involved in Federer's win today, namely a couple of net cords that saved him or saved Roger from easy volleys that could have been put away from Tsonga. A couple of net cords, and this match went the other way. Just saying. All right? Moving forward, topic number 2. Carla has a topic, and you just told me you had one, so here we go.
Well, I guess they asked Federer his opinion on, the challenges and the futures, and he shared his opinion. He said that prize money should increase for qualies and challengers.
I have to pause, because a lot of people out there probably don't know that are watching this show, don't know what you're talking about, challenges or futures.
Well, we talked about the amateur tennis in the last show.
The lead up to the Pro Tour. Challengers and futures are how you get there.
Right.
And we did a show on
the last one we did.
Yeah, yes. The last show. So if you check out the last show, about 15 minutes, I'll put a link somewhere in there. But the challengers and futures are how young players can make money so they can get better and travel and make a living while they work up the ranks in tennis. Okay,
correct.
So a lot of people don't understand that.
Okay, well, he said that they should increase the money for the qualifiers for anybody playing the futures. I think Djokovic has said the same thing. They also asked him about, we talked about this on our last show, the sideline coaching. And he says, I do not support on-court coaching, he says. I have the best team in the world, and I think it's not fair for another guy who has maybe no coach that can benefit from this at all. And I think this is what you said in our last show, that how is it fair that there are people that can't afford coaches and they won't be able to get the same advice, but then you got the guy who's making all the money in the tour who's got all the best coaches, and Federer just said it there.
Yeah, so a history in a nutshell, you might be lost on that in a sense. The last show we talked about how much more difficult it is now to become an elite tennis player based upon the building blocks to get there, i.e. that is challengers, futures, etc. They used to be more abundant, now they're not. The prize money was thinner, and now there's more, but the tournaments are fewer. Roger Federer made a statement in a sense that agreed with Tony Nadal. Obviously that's Nadal's uncle and also longtime coach, at least one of many. That yes, this is catering to the deep pockets. This is unfortunate. And now we have Roger Federer that steps in and says, hey, wait a minute. You know, he's saying I have the best team on the planet. What does that mean if you translate that? I've got a multi-million-dollar team.
Yes.
Now, if I've got some coach shouting across the court at me about what to do and what not to do, and then I'm playing John Doe, Schmo, player B, and he has no one in his box and showed up in a taxi cab, how is it fair that I'm getting all this coaching and this person is getting none? We are born or we are trained to be tennis players, and we should be able to execute that on our own because, yes, this is going to make it weighted or biased depending on pocket depth, right?
Yes, correct.
So I'm glad Roger Federer spoke up as well because a lot of people listen to Roger Federer. I know Tony Nadal has been saying it. I know 1,000 other players have been saying it for a long time that this is preposterous what they're doing. So I'm glad Roger said something because people tend to listen to Roger.
Right.
All right, good topic. Check out our last show if you're a little bit lost on the details of what happened with the futures and challenger circuits and what's going on with them now. And I'll put a link up previously. Should have flashed above the screen at around 15 minutes. All right, topic number 3. Moving forward, Juan Martín del Potro goes down again. Thoughts?
Sad. I mean, he has I guess he fractured his right patella. And,
same one.
And is going to have surgery in a few days, which means that he'll be out of tournaments for a long time.
At least.
Sad at his age.
Yeah, at least multiple months. Any type of surgical procedure involves stitches and breaking the skin, healing bone, etc. While rehabilitating, which he's been doing for I think 5 or 6 years now. The muscles weaken, which would kind of be.
When did he crack it? Wasn't it at the Miami Open?
I thought it was Wimbledon last year. I thought he cracked it at Wimbledon last year, and then had it repaired, and then here we go again. I may be wrong.
He did play.
I'm just thinking he dove for a ball at Wimbledon last year.
I thought it was definitely on hard court.
But I may be wrong.
I think you're wrong on that.
Didn't write that in, shot that from the hip, so feel free to correct. Ultimately, he did this before. He dove for a ball. He got up and kind of gingerly shattered or fractured the kneecap.
At his height, he can't do that. He can't be running after those balls. He has to take care of his body. He's in his 30, I think. His career is coming to an end.
Well, number one, I love this guy. What do all of you think? I like Del Potro a lot. Not necessarily because of his ultimate game. He has a very respectable game. But I love him because of the way he interacts with the crowd. His attitude, his court demeanor, especially in Davis Cup tournaments, especially before the format changed. His matches turn into a soccer or football type arena. The crowd gets into it. Flags are waving. He has a really good energy about him, but alas, he just cannot stay healthy. I mean, what is he, 6'8"? 6'9", somewhere in there, diving around on the court.
Is that big?
He's 6'8", 6'9", I think. You can look it up. 6'6", 6'8", 6'9".
6'6", yeah, I think
he's up there.
Yeah,
I mean, he's basketball player height comfortably. And he's a tennis player, which wear and tear. You don't have a team to take up your slack when you're not doing well. It's just you. Hence why it's so difficult to hold down the game for so long. It's such a height. The Isners and the Karloviches and the Opelkas and these guys that do it, Andersons, Queries, these guys, it's tough on the body. And Del Potro is better than all of them combined, I think, in a sense. I mean, hence why he has his major, right?
Yes.
But for him, is it time for Del Potro to think about the game as an elite athlete? Is it time?
I don't know. Only he can answer that. I would hate to make that decision for him.
Do you think he can even come back after taking maybe another 6-8 months off to heal and to rehabilitate? Do you think he can even come back again? Do you think he has the desire to do so?
He can come back, but the question would be, can you win? Can you win a Grand Slam? I mean, why would you continue playing on tour? Can you win tournaments and win a Grand Slam? Do you want it that badly?
What can your expectations be if you're Del Potro if he comes back? What is he planning on doing? Winning a major when he can't stay healthy through a couple rounds of a 2 out of 3 set tournament? What are your expectations there? Let's comment about that for time reasons. Again, we kind of threw this out there, so we knew we would teach the rest of the afternoon and we may not be able to do a show later. So, and surely people appreciate shorter shows anyway. But what are his expectations? If you're Del Potro, what do you expect to do if you come back? Can you win another major? Can you? Think about that. We're breaking down 2 out of 3 sets in the first, second rounds, and not just pulling a muscle. I'm talking breaking bones. I think maybe it's time to really rethink what our expectations are for Del Potro, but what do you think his expectations should be, and what do you think he should do? Very tough question.
Yes.
Topic number 3. Stanislas Wawrinka loses today to Nicolas Mahut. However, Stanislas Wawrinka gets another opportunity to help out a young child in need. We will explain. The first opportunity Wawrinka had while playing a match was not terribly long ago, where he was able to help out a young boy that was coming to get a towel. As the match completed, I forget who was playing. I think it was Tsitsipas. The crowd was amped up. He throws a towel to a boy. The crowd comes in.
It was Dimitrov.
Yes. Good call.
It was Dimitrov.
The boy tends to get trampled. You know, we get crushed up against something and people can't breathe. This happens at nightclubs and people freaking out. You know, people get trampled. This boy was getting trampled. He pulled the boy out. Great job. And we move forward. Today, while playing Nicolas Mahut, had a rough go on a few serves and decided to do the proverbial, let me practice this shot thing. You know, if we're playing tennis, if you're just a fan and you don't play a lot, maybe this will be something you can understand now. When we play and we miss a shot, right? We hit it in the net, hit it out, whatever. A lot of times we'll, get frustrated and we'll shadow our stroke. No ball is in play, no point's going on. The point was going on, we just dump a ball in the net. Easy shot, we miss it. And then we get up and we're like, geez, hit the ball like this. We're telling ourselves that in our heads.
Yep.
Okay? In this match, the similar type thing happened, but it was with a serve. So Mahut had a little rough go on a couple of serves. So he practiced the serve right in the middle of kind of ball girls and boys getting balls, everybody kind of getting set again for the next point, and practiced the serve. The serve went errant and blasted a ball girl in the face.
Poor girl. Ouch.
Poor girl. I must say I have been hit in the face as well as a ball boy. I was a ball boy. I think it was Point Clear, Alabama. Maybe I was 12 or 13 years old, and it was just a sheer accident. It wasn't someone frustrated. Someone just served. It was an errant frame serve, and it hit me in the face. I've been hit in the face by our second oldest son of 5 kids at point blank range.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Remember,
I remember that. You were feeding him a ball right in front.
Yeah, I was feeding a ball right in front of him, like right here. And he really wasn't paying. He was kind of like arguing a little bit with the brother, and there was a lot going on. He wasn't paying a lot of attention, and I fed him a ball, and he hit it.
Backhand.
And he hit it, and I was from the camera to here, and he wailed on me. He was aggravated, brothers, sisters, I get it. And it hit me right square in the face, broke my glasses, I had blood down my face. So it happens, and it's never fun, because the person that does it realizes at that point that they were, oh man, I got wrapped up in the moment, I shot from the hip, I acted without thinking, and now I've hurt somebody.
Well, he served. So, I mean, the distance was pretty far. Still, though, the impact is, they served pretty hard.
When you have a pro that's aggravated and is now shadowing the stroke, I can guarantee you it's equally as hard, if not harder. And when it tags you in the face, it's quite a nasty setup for the person that's injured first and foremost. If not seriously, I think people in baseball have been killed by line drives to the face. Tennis balls aren't that much more friendly.
Yeah, I've been hit too, and I can tell you, I got hit in the jaw. I felt like my whole jaw got like dislocated. It hurts.
Not good, not
it
good.
Hurts.
So, however, Wawrinka being on the court helps this young girl that was struck in the face. So, all I want to indicate here with this is that Wawrinka has seemingly been a father figure to a couple of young fans and ball girls.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him, but I hope this isn't like he's a magnet for on-court whacked-out incidents, because it seems like he's had 2 in a row.
Yeah.
But hey, hopefully Mahut...
well, weren't they thinking about fining him?
Yeah, but they shouldn't fine him.
But they did take a point or a warning. They gave him a warning.
Yeah, I think that Nicholas Mahut right now is heartbroken. And Nicholas Mahut is a family man.
Sure,
his young boy comes out and greets him on the court. I'm sure Nicholas Mahut is heartbroken. He doesn't need to be fined here.
He doesn't.
He was being a tennis player, shadowing a stroke, and lo and behold, just one of those things, you know. Unfortunately, this is how people get in car wrecks and people get killed and people say things that they don't mean when they're mad. Just frustrated and you know, practice a serve, and unfortunately a ball girl walked into a facial shot. He doesn't need to be fined. It was purely accident. It wasn't like David Nalbandian smacking the ball and really hurting someone badly, which was part of his demise career-wise. It wasn't like Denis Shapovalov getting mad and smacking the ball and hitting the umpire in the face. It was him really doing what tennis players do.
Yeah, he didn't. It wasn't. Yeah, his is total.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to be fined. I know Wawrinka lost, but I don't think this loss is indicative of anything moving forward.
We had a lot of big people lose today. It means nothing.
And we have a lot of big people that aren't playing, the likes of Serena's and Djokovic's and Nadal's and on and on. And Federer looks like he's never even played before.
Why even waste a lot of energy in these tournaments? There's only 3 weeks of tournaments, and then you got the slam. You've got to save your energy. For Wimbledon. And for me, I know Rahesh. I know someone corrected me on his name, but he likes being called Rahesh. And he said, oh, Wawrinka lost. And I said, well, these guys, you know, for them, that loss means nothing. We had Osaka who lost, Anderson who lost. These losses are they're just trying to get their feet, you know, accustomed to the grass.
See, I don't think Naomi Osaka, though, and we'll get into this, I don't think Naomi Osaka has quite been around long enough, even though she has 2 majors, to just, you know, blow off losses. I think if you're 37-year-old Serena, 37 or 39, 30, how old is Federer?
37.
30, I said 37-year-old Serena. She's 37 too, though, isn't she?
I think so. 36 or 37.
So I think, you know, the Djokovic's with 15 majors, the 37-year-olds, you know, Karlovic at 40 or Venus at 39, you know, wants to tank it off a little bit and not worry about a loss too much. That's one thing. But a very young Osaka, you know, we have to remember that young pros that really turn on the burner and winning tournaments, you know, they start rolling them off and don't quit until they're in their 30s. You know, you can't tell me that Osaka is just passing off wins and waiting for Wimbledon. She's not old enough for that.
I'm not saying that, but maybe it's not as significant, you know.
Maybe not. I think for Osaka it is that significant. I think it's not significant for Wawrinka. I think it's not significant that Federer looks, you know, shaggy right about now. Even though he looks so shaggy, it was kind of bothersome. It's not a problem that Djokovic is not playing. It's not a problem that Nadal is not playing. But it is a problem that a very young girl is losing.
Or someone like Dimitrov who lost today. That's problematic because he has no self-confidence and he hasn't won matches.
All right, what are your thoughts there? Great Osaka nugget drop right there, by the way, Carla. Topic number 4, moving forward. Carla and I have spoken at length about young players growing up and being a bit more fit and putting in work and training off the court as well.
I saw one today.
As on the court. Yeah. That's why I wrote this. Carla said this to me and I started writing.
I was like, wow.
Okay?
I was shocked.
We have talked about and discussed the significant quadricep and muscle growth in the legs from Stefanos Tsitsipas. We have talked about how stick figure-ish that the young Sasha, or not young really anymore, or Alexander Zverev has always been. He's never shown signs of increased leg strength, upper body strength. Again, if you're new to the channel, don't say, oh, well, tennis, you don't have to be a He-Man. We've already been through this topic too.
Not that you have
it's not that you have to be He-Man, but you got to be strong. You got to look fit. You got to be more than a toothpick. Otherwise, the men are going to destroy you. However, we have never seen that from Zverev. He continues to be a toothpick. We've seen Shapovalov, even though he's not winning a lot, fill out a little bit more. However, today we saw that the young Felix Auger-Aliassime has definitely been putting in work off court.
He looked like a man.
Did he beat Kyrgios?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he beat.
He looked like a man. When I saw him, I said, "Is that the little boy we saw at U.S. Open last year?" With he had to retire from the match against Shapovalov. If you look at the video from him in 2018 U.S. Open and now, completely different. He's gained at least 10 pounds of muscles.
And when we're talking about filling out, I am not talking about losing what is it called? BMI, body mass index. I'm talking he's ripped, but ripped. Thicker.
I mean, the way he was walking, his chest was sticking out, his legs were filled. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Guy's in shape.
Yeah, Tsitsipas, when it first came out, he hadn't been out that long. He's still fresh on the totem pole. Stick figure, won some, lost some. He started filling out, putting work off the court, obviously, or at least resistance training to an extreme on court. Mm-hmm. Filled out. Now he's top 5, 6 in the world at this point, and nearly unbeatable for most. Mm-hmm. Let's look at on the flip side of that, Sasha Zverev. Been a stick figure ever since he came around. People didn't know his game. He beat them, but now that they've gotten to know his game, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to put more emphasis on shot making. Shot selections, net play, and being aggressive. And when you're a beanpole, it doesn't always work that way. It's really tough to overcome. Once people learn your patterns and strategy, if you don't add more emphasis and gain more offensive kind of mindset, then people to control you. And that's what's happened with Zverev. But look at Felix Auger-Aliassime. Looks like he's in beast mode. Good work off the court or wherever you're putting in the muscle mass. Your diet, your trainer, your nutritionist.
I hope he doesn't get distracted by girls or fame or keep working.
Hopefully Zverev finally looks at these younger kids and realizes I need to do something because these 18, 19, 20-year-olds are going to be beating me now. Right. And then you're going to have a big problem. And then we're going to say the best that never was list is going to be added with Zverev on it, unfortunately. He must follow suit. Topic number 5. This will be a quick one. Topic number 5, 40-year-old Ivo Karlovic and 39-year-old Venus Williams will soon embark on another Wimbledon run. Mm-hmm. How well can they do?
Well, I think they'll do well. Ivo Karlovic has done pretty well. I mean, the serve helps him out at the grass court, and we know Venus has won 5 Wimbledons, and she seems to be doing well in this tournament that she's playing. I mean...
Pulled off another win today?
Yeah, so she could do well if her health is good and her sickness doesn't get her. She can go far, I think. Not win it.
Yeah,
go far.
First of all, I'm a big Ivo Karlovic fan, not of his game, but as a gentleman, someone that we have known about since we were in our, the early 20s, Carla. Big server, and early on you're like, here's just another big server. We've seen millions of them, or maybe not millions, but tens of thousands of them over juniors and challengers and you name it. Watching tennis as a fan, we've seen, and they come and go. But he has come and stayed, right? So I think that Ivo Karlovic has just as good a shot at going far in Wimbledon as Isner, respectively, as Riley Opelka, respectively, as Kevin Anderson, respectively, as Sam Querrey, respectively, and keep the list going. If his serve's on. If his serve's on, he can make a final or a semifinal until he meets someone that's an all-court player like Djokovic. Then
not make a final or semifinal.
But if the serve's on and it's perfectly on, fourth round, you can go very deep at Wimbledon, unless the grass is playing slow. And maybe I exaggerated making a final, but hasn't Isner made a Wimbledon final?
No.
Did he make a semifinal?
Yes, he lost to Anderson.
There you go. So I'm just saying, if Anderson and Isner can get to a semifinal and Anderson a final, then any big server can do it. Because none of these guys are great all-around court players. No disrespect to Ivor Savage, South African, much love. Ivor. But no disrespect there. It's just that, in my opinion, these games, or these gentlemen's games, revolve around a huge gargantuan serve. And that's the truth. And then if they don't have it, they don't have the ability and the endurance and the stamina and the movement to drag it out. They count on that serve plus 1 or 2 or 3 shots, and if they don't get it, they lose quickly. So it's just a matter of statistics here with these guys. So therefore, I think Ivo has just as good a shot as anybody to go as far as any of the other big servers at 40. Same with Venus. She has a big serve too. For a female at 39, wouldn't it be a Cinderella story if Venus won this Wimbledon and retired right there on the court?
I think she would want that real badly.
She could do it. Does anybody think that Venus can do it? So who are her big competitors at Wimbledon? Her sister.
Her sister would be one.
Her sister would be one. Other than that, who?
Barty can disturb her game.
But if you had to bet your house on something, I know we wouldn't bet like actual money or something because we're so broke we can't pay attention. But if you had Venus and any other player in the game right now, and you put them head to head in the final of Wimbledon, are you telling me you would be sure not to bet on Venus?
Depending what player it is.
I
mean, we thought she was going to beat Muguruza, and Muguruza shocked us and beat her.
I think Venus can do well.
She can do well. I don't think she can win it, but if she did, good for her.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. I love Venus a lot. I mean love Venus. When I was growing up, and I would say growing up, I mean Venus and I are close to the same age, but while she was rolling off Wimbledons and doing really well, something about her energy, it just seemed very ladylike, it seemed very professional, it was something new, it was a breath of fresh air. I would love to see nothing more.
She definitely has not put much drama into her. You know, there hasn't really been much drama with her like her sister, except for the push that she had with a player that retired a long time ago, but it wasn't her fault. They were just being rude to her. She's been the nicer one, I guess, with the antics.
I find Venus a very elegant young lady, and I really would love to see her win Wimbledon. I wouldn't bet on it, but I would love nothing more. All right, real quickly, there's not a lot of notable matches because most of the big players aren't even playing, but let's touch on real quickly, rapidly, because of time and lessons coming up. Let's talk about notable matches, any news that we haven't discussed, and results from current grass court tournaments.
Sure. We have the Mallorca Open, where the number one player, Angelique Kerber from Germany, defeated Maria Sharapova from Russia pretty quickly. 6-2, 6-3.
Suspected.
So Sharapova got one round in and got dismantled. She needs a lot more matches under her belt.
Yeah, Sharapova's just rusty. And furthermore, we had discussed watching this match. I just could not.
Someone asked me.
The screeching, I just can't.
Someone asked me, I think it was Wildlife1 on Twitter, why is it that Angelique Kerber, with her strength, the way her body is, big quadriceps, he said, why can't she hit the ball hard? And he's like, as a coach, why do you think she doesn't hit the ball hard? Why do you think she's always being a defense player?
Well, you could say the same thing about Halle or Nadal or any. She's a defensive. She's been trained. She's a defensive-minded player. She can hit the ball, sure, but I would say
it's too loopy sometimes. I think she doesn't flatten out her shots enough, so they don't have that impact like Serena's shots or maybe Sharapova.
Now, lest we not forget, hasn't Kerber won Wimbledon?
She did win Wimbledon.
Did she win it twice?
She won Wimbledon, and I thought she won the French.
I should have thought about that.
I don't remember. She has 3.
Who was that made that comment? Wildlife1?
Yes, Wildlife1.
This is a great comment by him. I didn't see that again. I don't read a lot of these comments, not because I don't want to, but with 5 kids, sometimes it's just like Carla, she's fast typer, and not me, and then sometimes it'll take me forever. So I didn't see this comment, didn't know about it. But this is a really perceptive comment in that he mentions about Kerber's quadricep strength. Carla and I could not agree more with quadricep strength in the game. Carla's legs, I wish I had. Huge quadriceps. We've talked about Auger-Aliassime looking much better today on court, namely us looking at his quadriceps and some upper body. We've talked about Tsitsipas growing muscular, his game getting better, and namely talking about the quadriceps. Very perceptive, and I really like the comment. I think Kerber maybe could use a little strategy change, but some people say
and she doesn't hit through the ball. If you notice, a lot of her shots are almost like back here.
Yeah, Nadal-ish.
She's like Sakari-ish.
She
doesn't go forward when she hits her shots. You watch Sharapova, she goes forward when she hits her shots. So it's flat.
There's an old saying.
Even Osaka hits the ball stepping into it.
Yeah, can you teach an old dog tricks? That's a saying. I have a dog, and she's aging, and I can still kind of teach her to do something different. So I don't believe in that. But when you're at that level like Kerber,
it's worked for her. So why change it?
Yeah, it's worked. But I think what's going to happen is these hot young guns like the Osakas, some of the other upcoming heavy hitters, the YTEX and so forth. I think they're going to eventually pass her up.
Okay.
So we'll see, though. Injuries haven't been very good for her either.
I mentioned this match because he said Amanda Anisimova won't do well in grass. Well, she won another match against Elise Cornet.
First of all, I didn't say Amanda Anisimova wouldn't do well on grass.
You said she would fade in the first week.
I didn't. Yeah, I said that Anisimova would not make it through the first week of Wimbledon, and I still stand by that. Doesn't mean she shouldn't have beaten Elise Cornet.
Well, she moved on to the next round, 6-2, 6-4. And she will face off Belinda Bencic in the next match, which should be an interesting match.
Bencic will destroy her as long as Bencic is healthy.
Well, Bencic went to 3 sets against a Shelby Rogers from the USA.
All right, well, that's okay. I'll be silenced on that one. I'll be silenced on that one.
Sophia Kennins and Elise Mertens will be the other quarterfinal match. Moving on.
That's a good match. I would lean on Kennin on that one. I don't think Mertens is a better player than Kennin. Yeah, I think Kennan's a better player.
I think Kennin has that one, yes. The next match, we have Venus Williams, not at the Mallorca Open, Birmingham Classic. Venus Williams defeated Ashley Barty. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Venus Williams defeated Qiang Wang.
We went from Venus Williams facing Ashley Barty to Qiang Wang. How does that get any wrong?
Because her next opponent is Barty, that's why.
All right.
So she defeated Qiang Wang 6-3, 6-2 and will face off in the quarterfinals against Ashley Barty. By the way, since Naomi Osaka lost, if Ashley Barty wins this tournament, she'll be the #1 player.
Good for her.
Yes.
Good for her. I heard that. I tell you what, here's my long-term forecast. I think that Venus Williams will not beat Barty here. Okay, I think Barty will win this match.
Sure, I think the same.
I think that Venus, though, will purposely, in a sense, if she wins it easily, okay, she'll win it. If it's a long, stretched-out match, grueling battle, I think she'll pull off the throttle and go ahead and take the loss and start resting up. However, if Venus Williams were to meet Ashley Barty at Wimbledon, I would give the edge to Venus.
All right.
Do you doubt me? Here's a poll.
It depends how she plays. If she's healthy, then she can do damage. But if she comes tired because of what she deals with in her everyday life, I think it'll be tough.
Ashley Barty doesn't want none of Venus Williams at
Don't
Wimbledon.
you think her slice is more effective on grass?
Well, I think Barty's slice was very effective on the clay, especially.
But on grass, it dies.
Well, dies even more so on clay.
And Venus is a 6-foot woman, and the running is going to take a toll on her when you're facing someone that's slicing that much.
I don't think Venus's big hitting, heavy serving game will allow Barty the time to kind of pump fake the shot and then to pull out the slice. I don't think Barty will have.
I'll watch this match.
Maybe in this match here, but at Wimbledon is what I'm saying. I don't think Venus will allow Barty the time to set up for the touch shots. I just don't. I think Venus will try to hit through her, whether they go in or out. I think she'll try to hit through Barty.
Potty mouth Julia Putintseva defeats Naomi Osaka in pretty straight sets, 6-2, 6-3. And I saw her shake Putinseva's hand. She looked a bit disappointed.
Yeah, if you're new to this channel, we have nicknames for some players, and Putintseva loves to run off at the mouth to her box, so we call her Potty Mouth Putintseva. And yes, she destroyed Osaka. Is this a worry for Osaka, Carla?
I don't think so. Not to me. If I were her, I wouldn't worry about this too much. I mean, playing a Grand Slam, there's a lot more pressure for the underdog to beat the top player.
I think it's a huge worry.
You think so?
Look,
I'm giving her a chance, and usually I don't.
Look, let's look at Venus. Let's look at Serena. Let's look at any top player at the age that Osaka is. Once they start winning, they're rolling off wins. Tournament, and maybe not all of them. Let's look at Federer when he came out. Major.
But women's
tournament.
But women's tennis is so inconsistent, though.
But I understand that. But at 21, how old is she now? 21, 22?
She's going to be 21.
So she's still 20?
Doesn't she have a decision to make?
I think she's
at 21,
something
whether to
like
be
that.
a Japanese citizen or.
She'll stay with her own
21?
country, Japan, I would think. Or anyway, but. I think for her to be losing to the likes of Putintseva, respectively, who's a good player, but she's not a major champion caliber player, Putintseva. To lose like that, I would think it's a worry for her. It wasn't a 3-setter. It wasn't even close 2-setter. She was beaten handily.
Maybe she regrets firing her coach.
I don't know.
All right, quarterfinal match is Yelena Ostapenko, who defeated Johanna Konta the other day, will play against Petra Martic. Good for her.
Great for Ostapenko.
And here's another one that B-Dog sent us.
What's up, B-Dog?
Carolina Pliskova, the number 3 seed in this tournament, got defeated by her sister in 3 tight sets. 6-2, 3-6, 6-7.
It's kind of an odd one.
That was kind of odd. Do you think this sister maybe said, you know, she needs the points more than I do?
Do I think it's questionable that Carolina and Christina went 3 sets with her sister that's, I don't even think she's ranked in the top 100, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe
there's not
80
even
in the world?
If you look up her in the WTA site, there's not even a picture of her.
Oh, no. I know.
I know how she looks like, but I'm just saying, usually the lower ranked players don't even have pictures of them.
Yeah, whatever you looked up was a sham. That was a glitch. I've seen them both play 1,000 times.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the lower ranked players, sometimes they don't have their pictures next to their ranking.
That's one of those things where I say, Woogis, who gives up? Bleep.
But you said she's out of the 100. Maybe so.
Well, I've seen both players play at
total
length.
Different style.
Totally different style, a different attitude in general. I think that's the beauty of being twins. But is it a little suspect, kind of like a lot of the Venus and Serena matches? Yes. Do I think if Pliskova played, it's 2 Pliskovas. If I think they squared off at Wimbledon, do I think that the more dominant sister would have won easily? Yes. Do I find it suspect that it went 3 sets and then went to 9-7 in the third or something in the tiebreaker or something like that? Mm-hmm. Do I find it a little suspect? Maybe. Yes, probably. But if they met at Wimbledon, I would think that Carolina wins 2-0, right? Yeah. Anybody disagree with that one? What's up, B-Dog02? What you think?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
we'll go on to the men. This was at the Queen's Club. Stefanos Tsitsipas, or Birmingham Classic. Stefanos Tsitsipas defeated Jeremy Chardy in 3 sets. I actually thought that Tsitsipas was going to lose in this match, but he did not.
Slow start.
Felix Auger-Aliassime had to play 2 matches today. He defeated the veteran Grigor Dimitrov 6-4, 6-4, which I say this loss hurts Dimitrov big time.
Yeah, Dimitrov losing that match was not surprising, but a reminder of what are we doing. And we're so deep on time already. We wanted to go 30 minutes and under, and we're at 47 minutes. We won't spend a lot of time here, only because we've talked about Dimitrov.
He should go model. He should go model while he has the time.
So he's ready for modeling now.
He should.
So you think tennis at a high level is done for him?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Felix Auger-Aliassime played Nick Kyrgios, which he won 6-7, 7-6, 7-5. Kyrgios had played 2 matches as well. He had played Carballes Baena, defeated him.
Yeah, well, during that match, Kyrgios had a meltdown once again. Can you imagine that? He had a meltdown about the match was rigged because of a bad service call. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. But anyway, he beat Carballes Baena, right?
Yes, he did, but lost to the youngster. It looked like when he was serving, he almost gave up. Like, he was like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I saw the last match point. It almost looked like he said, whatever.
Yeah, and again, if you
But he has respect for the kid, though.
Yeah,
he's very respectful, hugged him and everything, so we know he likes him.
Yeah, and Woogis, who gives a bleep if he doesn't anyway? And if you're new to the show, too, if I say Woogis, it means an acronym for who gives a, and I'll keep it PG, but I'm sure you can fill in the last 4 letters, who gives a. So who gives a whatever if Kyrgios likes you or not? I think Novak Djokovic even said the same thing the other day in response to people asking him about why does Kyrgios not like you? And, he said it professionally. I don't really care. I think it would be better for Djokovic if he finally beats Kyrgios.
Yeah, but he did say he also wanted attention. Someone did correct me. You are right. I was looking at the seeding. Djokovic is number 1. It is 2-0 Kyrgios.
Yeah, does Kyrgios earn the right to call Djokovic out all the time because he's 2-0? I don't think so. Look at Djokovic's a health status in a sense during those matches, injury, rusty, and so forth. Not an excuse though, but I think Kyrgios needs to wake up and say, hey man, the 2 times I beat this guy, not making excuses either way, but was in really kind of rare form. But I will tell you one thing. Nick Kyrgios needs to look at himself in the mirror and then look at Felix Auger-Aliassime, because this kid's showing results of muscle and size and maturity and doing it rapidly. And Kyrgios just looks the same as he did 5 years ago.
Yes. Well, Kevin Anderson goes down, loses to Gilles Simon.
Told you, was the serve not clicking? I didn't even know that happened. Gilles Simon is a crafty player, Frenchman. Kevin Anderson, again, if his serve's not on, he's done. I'd be curious to see what his first serve percentage was throughout the match. I guarantee you it was probably low 70s, if that.
Schwartzman defeats last year's champion, Chilik, 6-4, 6-4. That to me was an odd win. Wow.
Another one of the big servers. I would be curious to see what Chilic's first serve percentage was during that match. Was that straight sets?
Straight sets, 6-4, 6-4.
Or maybe
Very odd.
if Cilic slept the night before. Or how was he doing physically prepping for Wimbledon? Again, these are the type matches that we can say, is it a big deal that Cilic lost? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Is it a big deal
For
that Schwartzman won? Probably really. I mean, for his pocket, yes, but heading into Wimbledon, maybe not.
Yeah. Well, Raonic and Lopez, Feliciano Lopez, will face off in the quarterfinals. Lopez was supposed to play Del Potro, but as we know, he withdrew due to injury.
Who got the walkover?
Lopez.
So Feliciano Lopez, who, by the way, I think was just implicated in match fixing with doubles.
Yes, but he's
which
denied
I was like, when I heard that, I was like,
he's
what?
denied it.
Feliciano?
Like, really, like I have nothing to do with that.
You know, speaking of outfits, as we did earlier in the show, we watched Feliciano playing doubles today, and he had on like these skulls on his. I think the company is Dead Set. I think it's a great company. Don't you know? Haven't you been associated with the company? Anyway, wonderful company, wonderful deal. I'm not going there, but Feliciano being the the cool, calm, and collected, kind of like Federer-esque in a sense, super polite, to all of a sudden be wrapped up in a potential match-fixing investigation. Furthermore, to be wearing skulls and crossbones or whatever it is on his shirt just doesn't really seem to fit the narrative. So I was wondering what was going on there. Feliciano with skulls and match-fixing? What's up with that? I hope it's BS, and surely, I'm sure it is, right?
He says that, yeah, he got on whatever social media, and he denied it completely.
Well, guess.
All right, How Open. Roger Federer defeated Joe Wilfred Tsonga in 3 sets. I think we talked about this.
Yeah, a lot of luck was involved in that.
I was falling asleep in this match. Alexander Zverev defeats Steve Johnson. Woohoo!
Oh!
And will face David Goffin in the next round. That should be a little test for him there.
Yeah, that'll be a test there. I don't know how Goffin's feeling, but I like David Goffin a lot. Belgian player, right?
Yes, and Federer.
I like him a lot.
And Federer faces Bautista Agut, by the way.
That's a good match, too. If Federer plays Bautista Agut the way he played Tsonga today, Federer will lose.
Berenti, I only mentioned Berenti because he's been on a roll on grass court. Defeats Seppi in 3 sets. And will face Khachanov in the quarters.
You gonna pick Berenti on your fantasy team for Wimbledon?
No, he won the last grass tournament. Mercedes Cup, I think.
Oh, I'm glad no one showed up to play. I don't think Berenti's that great. He's a good player, but again,
you don't like him because he's like the beautiful Fabini, right?
Is Nadal playing? Is Djokovic playing?
No, we know that those.
It is and Federer's there, not playing very well. But I mean, I guess he could beat how Federer looked today, but I mean, who is at that tournament that is 1,000,000% wide open playing? I think right now he'll get Khachanov next. You said
Khachanov, yes.
Khachanov will be ready, and Berenti will lose badly, in my opinion, to Khachanov.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, moving forward, my favorite part of the show as we end is rapid fire questions. 12 rapid fire questions. If you're new to the channel, how this works is I will ask 12 questions and a couple bonus questions at the end. You can type along and answer them. Carla always looks at the questions and the answers, and we kind of flip back when you answer them. But you have to do it quickly. If you think about it, just put pass or put a dash in your answers because it's meant to be quick. Without thinking, no hesitation, just go, okay? So I'm going to ask questions. You ready, Carla?
Yes.
All right, you must not look at my sheet, Carla. You must look at the camera, and here we go, and it's got to be quick. Here we go. Let's play the game. Question number 1. After Grigor Dimitrov's loss today, we were teaching on court. Carla mentioned that it is definitely time for him to get into modeling and to forget about tennis at the highest level. Does anyone think he is good looking enough to get people to buy what it is that he is advertising? Or would he even entice you to stop and look?
Not my type, but yeah, I think he is.
So if he's busting out some boxer brief, you're stopping like, what?
Not me.
I gotta get those from my man, what's up?
Not me, no. I mean, Eugenie Bouchard is not all that, and she seems to get a lot of attention. Just saying.
Question number 2. Where we live here in Alabama, we have alligators and sharks that swim on the beaches.
Well,
both of them.
Yeah,
Sharks in the water.
That's because the water's mixed here.
We have alligators and sharks. If you had to choose one of them to swim with, which one would you rather deal with?
Shark. Hands down. Because that crocodile, alligator, whatever, is going to grab me, twist and stuff. And the shark might take a bite out of me and say, you don't taste too good.
Yeah, I think I'd rather go with the shark, too.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a feeding frenzy.
As long as it's not a great white, then you have no chance.
Shoot.
Or a tiger shark.
We swim with sharks and gators up in this piece. That's how we roll. Come to our beach, we roll with sharks and gators. Let's get down.
There's been alligators swimming in the beaches here.
What's up, V-Doggo2? You want to go for a swim?
They've been swimming on the beach.
Come on now, bro.
So you got sharks and alligators now swimming on the beach. Like in Australia.
Pick
Except
one.
in Australia, they're big great whites and crocodiles. Saltwater crocodiles.
Well, okay, that's a good point. But I don't think they're on the beaches. Maybe. I don't know.
Yes, they are. I've seen them.
Question number 3. Roger Federer currently looks, in my humble opinion, rough to say the least. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad does Roger Federer look now, let's say, in the match today versus Tsonga?
You give him a 3.
That's not even looking that bad. On a scale of 1 to 10,
Oh.
one being looking still, 10 being really bad, and 1 being not that bad.
Oh, okay, then I give him like an 8.
Yeah, I'm up there. I'm going to go with the 8. Actually, I'm going to go 10. He looks rough. I might want to use him as a Halloween prop outside my house, and we don't even celebrate Halloween. But he might scare some people away. Shoot. Question number 4. Nicholas Mahut hits an errant serve, even though the point was not going on, an errant serve, and drills a ball girl right in the face. Should he be fined?
No, absolutely not.
I think not either.
Send a girl a gift, though.
Send her a gift, give her a signature towel.
Something.
Send her a gift certificate to dinner, pay her hospital bill, whatever. It was a total accident. Very sorry for the girl, but Nicholas Mahut is a family man and a good one. He did not mean to do that, and it wasn't even a vindictive accident. It was just
a serve.
it just happened.
Yeah.
Question number 5. Of these 2 older players I'm about to mention, who do you think goes farther at Wimbledon? Ivo Karlovic or Venus Williams?
Venus Williams.
I'll take that. Question number 6. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you that Andy Murray is playing doubles?
A 1?
1 here. I might even go 0.
I didn't even want to watch it. I kind of fell asleep too on that one.
I was busier wondering about if Feliciano Lopez was actually guilty of match fixing and why he was wearing skulls on his hat or headband. I think that was more intriguing than doubles. I'm glad he's back, though. I'm glad he's healthy and moving forward. He's been through a lot. No disrespect to Murray as a person. I'm just not super excited about it.
Right.
Question number 7. Last night, B-Dog02 and I discussed the best. Let me rephrase that. Last night, B-Dog02 and I discussed the best athletes of all time, no matter the sport. Who is that in the kitchen, like rattling stuff that is totally oblivious to we're doing the show?
I thought it was the dog.
Gotta be Chris. Last night, B-Dog02 and I discussed the best athletes of all time, no matter the sport. We did our top 10 of, off the top of your head, who are the top 2 athletes across the board of any sport that you can come up with?
Michael Jordan was 1. And the next one would be Serena.
Chris. Sorry about that. 5 kids, you have to deal with them sometimes. I'm kidding. Again, I got distracted there with that. But last night, B-Dog02 and I discussed our top 10 athletes of all time. The question was name your top 2 across the board. Again,
I mean, there's so many, really. I said Michael Jordan. Definitely, you always think of him as a top athlete. Serena. But there's so many more I want to say.
There's a lot of them. And we had a good time with this. Right off the top of my head, it would be Michael Jordan and Joe Louis. Michael Jordan, the basketball player. Joe Louis, the boxer. I think we would follow suit with Serena Williams, Michael Phelps.
There's so many.
And there's so many.
There's so many that you want to just pick.
But your top 2 athletes off the top of your head of all time, regardless of gender or sport.
I already said it.
Question number 8. Do you actually think Feliciano Lopez was involved in match fixing?
No.
Question number 9. When we do something a lot, all right? We do something a lot, right? Sometimes we say, man, I wish I had a dime for every time I did that.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. What would that be?
Always washing dishes.
That's a good one. I would say turning the toilet paper roll from
you wouldn't be rich with that.
But I do it every day, and we got 5 kids. I'm changing like 17 toilet paper rolls a day, and they're always the paper against the wall. I like to grab the paper freely and not have to like scratch my fingernails on the wall to grab it. And because everyone else does that or just doesn't replace the roll at all, I would like a dime for every time I do that.
I think I'd be richer than you, though, with dishes.
Probably. I could say hit tennis balls, but we've hit, that's to be expected, though, right?
Yeah.
That toilet paper, frustrating.
I can think of a lot more frustrating things.
Question number 10. What sound irritates you the most?
Someone chewing with their mouth open.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Mouth chewing with the mouth open. Yeah.
That's annoying.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. That's a good one.
There's a big reason why I hate Golden Corral. Because you hear a lot of people.
Okay, I didn't really think about that one either.
Yeah.
My sounds were Victoria or Vika Azarenka playing with Maria Sharapova.
That's a good one.
The squeal off there.
Yes.
Can't bear it. Or number 2, dripping water when I'm trying to sleep. Don't like that one. Question number 11. Do you prefer showers or baths?
Showers.
Question number 12. The most aggravating thing a partner or closest friend does.
Sleeps with the phone on. I'm listening about aliens and other stuff when I'm trying to go to sleep.
Aliens? Okay, hold up.
Ooh. I try to sleep every night to that. That's tough.
All right, the most aggravating thing that comes across to me is when Carla says something, and then I or any one of the other 5 kids, so me and 5 others, 6 of us, Carla will be like, go do this, go do that, and we'll go do it, do a really good job, try our best, and then we'll come up and she'll be mad about what we did, and then say she never said to do it. Like, what are you talking about? Go do that, and we go do it.
I think you just came out of shot from the hip on that one.
Do you want me to go get the kids down here?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Sometimes you will say something. You'll be like, oh, do this, or hey, take that out, or oh, do this, or oh, do that, or blah, 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 blah. And then that thing will be done. There's so many of them, I can't come up with an exact thing, but you say one thing, then we go do that one thing, and then when we come back, you're like, why did you do that? And I'm like, you just told me to do that. And you're like, what? I never said that. You did it to Jonathan just the other day, and we're like, what are you talking about? You just told us to go do that. No, I never said that.
He seems pretty amped up today.
You do that all the time.
Okay. Try sleeping through a phone with aliens in the background. The tall, gray, the small, whatever.
I think there was a quote that Will Rogers said at one point in time, and that quote went something like this. There are 2 ways of arguing with a woman, and neither one works.
He's right.
Neither one. Suck it up. So now over the years I've learned if she tells me to do something and then I come upstairs and she's like, why did you do that for? Why? No. I don't just say, well, you just told me to do it anymore. I just say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. Even though she just told me to do it.
Wow. Okay.
That's truth.
Yeah.
Bonus questions. Here we go. Bonus question number 1. Which of these players goes the farthest at Wimbledon? Venus Williams, Nick Kyrgios, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Denis Shapovalov, or Helena Ostapenko?
I'll give Ostapenko the benefit of the doubt.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm going with Ostapenko.
So we fight and agree.
Let's go. Take the good with the bad. Good with the bad. Let's go. Sometimes we agree. Sometimes we disagree.
Yeah, it's part of life.
That's how we get down.
No one can be perfect. No one.
Take the good with the bad. The good, the bad, the ugly. All right. Question.
It's a great movie.
That is a good movie. Question number 2. What did you want to do as a career when you were a child?
I wanted to be a mortician.
A mortician?
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta get out of here. Really? A mortician?
Well, because we had a mortician.
Dead bodies, right?
Yeah, it came into our school and they were explaining their job and stuff. So I thought in 2nd grade, how cool would that be? Of course, when I got older, I was like, no. And then I used to say, swim with sharks. So, you say a lot of things when you're a little kid.
I wanted to be a fighter pilot.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Let's go. All right, last question. Here we go. I do not like getting into politics, and I'm not trying to do this here, but it's just a nonchalant question in a sense. I do not like getting into politics, but there are so many events coming up currently in the media that could lead us into a war, globally in a sense, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, How much BS is involved? In other words, how many lives?
Are you asking me this question?
Everyone. You.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really watch the news or read articles.
So in other words, you would say it's a 10 because you think it's all BS anyway.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on.
All right, it's a good answer, believe me. I'll sum it up with be nice. Don't believe everything you read. There's a lot of people, millions, tens of millions of people out there that just want to raise their families and to have food on their table. Please, no more stupid wars. Jeez. Play some tennis. Save those trillions of dollars and donate it to people that can build stronger families and redo their tennis courts. Wake up. Anyway, not trying to get into politics, but it just seems like it's very much in the media these days, which means drums are beating, and I wish the drums would stop beating. That's all I'm saying. Peaceful, much love, everything. You know what I'm saying? No more wars. All right, let's end the show with a quote and thought of the day. This one goes out to BDog02. Cherish your conversations that you have with anyone. The little conversations, the little old lady trying to cross the road. So anyone that you talk to, cherish the conversations. I'm going to spend a second and tell you why. And say the past 10 years with 5 kids, having spoken to BDog02 last night on a personal platform for a long time, I had to kind of take a step back, and I told him, I was like, I don't think I've talked to another brother this long in like a decade. Outside of having been in a career that involved a lot of talking for a while, or outside of on this show. On a personal level, I don't think I've spent that much time like breaking down in a positive way with another brother in a long time. And it meant a lot to me. And I had to take a step back. I woke up this morning and I was still thinking about it. I was like, man, that was a really good conversation. And ultimately, it made me have a better evening yesterday. Not that it was bad, but it just made me sleep a little bit more serene. And then woke up in a sense telling myself, you know, maybe I should stop and talk to people more, and instead of just staying so internalized with, 5 kids and up. I know we have to do that, but sometimes we can take a minute and talk to other people, right? Mm-hmm. But I actually burnt my gravy. I was cooking dinner and I was talking, and I love to cook, and lo and behold, I burnt my gravy. And the funny thing is he was with me when this happened, or chatting with me, and he like offered to go ahead and call in and order pizza and send it to us here from whatever. But it was just the gravy, so it worked out. But just the love of the comment was pretty straight up. So anyway, much love to that. Dinner was still great, burnt gravy and all. Let's go. Cherish your conversations. That's it, everyone. Much love to all of you. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We will see you in a couple of days. There are already 4 bets on the table for Wimbledon. Carla's betting with Ethan DA that Serena will go further than Osaka at Wimbledon. I'm betting Carla that Barty goes farther than Anisimova at Wimbledon. I'm also betting with Carla that Nick Kyrgios will go farther than Taylor Fritz at Wimbledon. And I have a bet with Peter Dijkstra in Sweden. And maybe if that Finch family gentleman wants to jump on board with the same bet, if he watches the show this long, that I'm betting that Federer will win Wimbledon. And I'll take that bet with Finch family from his comments yesterday if he wishes to jump in on it. Back up the top, I'm ready. Anyway, fantasy team will be going on, and as well the tennis racket giveaway. So everybody, thanks so much. It's time for us to go teach. We'll get this show downloaded a little bit later on. Much love to all of you. Please subscribe to our channel. And as Carla always says,
adios.
Adios. See you guys.